Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eyed Girl 69. How y'all doing today? Well, as you can see on my photo that I have on the video right now, that is a picture of me back in my younger days, back when I was freshly divorced from my first husband. Um, and a couple of years before I would meet my daughter's dad. I'm venturing to guess that I was probably 23 years of age here because I got divorced from my husband in April of 92 and I was still 22, and a couple months later I turned 23. Well, in the photo, I don't have my wedding band on, and I actually wore my wedding band up until we legally got divorced. Even when we were separated, I still wore my wedding band because I was still legally married. I have my class ring, and on this picture, I have another ring that's on my first finger on the left hand. A bracelet, my watch on, a necklace, some pearl looking earrings. I had all my teeth. I had long hair. Back then, I didn't really like my hair that long back then, but I dealt with it and I was able to style it pretty good. Now my hair is a lot lighter and a lot more grayer. But my mom gave me that picture today. I went over to my mom's. She wanted to talk to me about a few things. She wanted to talk to me about things that she wants to happen after she passes away. She's 92 years old. She's still in really good health, but she does know that there is going to come a day where she's no longer going to be here. So she's trying to prepare as much as she can, and giving me information, where to find things, etc., etc. And we had some pretty good conversation, but she also let me know a few things that I've had wrong for many years. And it's okay. It's okay that I had it wrong. I think I probably told myself certain things back at that age that I wanted to hear. Wasn't necessarily a lie. It just was a little bit of the truth twisted a little bit. Anyway, somehow, someway, my mother had heard that I'd said something, and so she wanted to correct me on what I had thought previously. We had a pretty good talk today. We talked a little bit about the grandkids, talked a little bit about just life situations, how life was back in the day in comparison to what it is now. I talked to her about how I felt about both sets of my grandparents. Um, some of my aunts and uncles from both sides of my family, from my mom and dad's side. She probably told me a couple more stories that about some of my family members, my aunts and uncles, that I didn't know previously, probably because of the fact that I was just too young, to have received that kind of information, I suppose. Um, it's kind of strange having a conversation with your elderly parent when you yourself feel like you're getting elderly. I'm not elderly, but I'm definitely older. Definitely older than I am in that picture. I was 23 in that picture and now I'm 56. So that would be like 33 years has gone by since that picture was taken. And in that 33-year period of time, I had a daughter. I went through so much in that 33-year period of time. I'm grateful that my mother is still around. I'm grateful that I'm able to have her tell me things about herself as well as how things was when she was growing up and maybe possibly a little bit of the reason why she did the things she did when I was a child growing up. Sometimes I think we tell ourselves stories. Our ego tells us things about situations and people to control us, to make us feel like we can't do anything to change it, that it's set in stone, and that's just the way it is. But in reality, that isn't how it is. I'm starting to realize that I had a lot of fears that I should have never had fears about. But that's because I was too attached to myself at that point in time, I suppose, and too attached to my ego to think otherwise or to think any different. What it really comes down to, I do owe my mother some apologies for how I looked at her, how I judged her, how I was misinformed on certain things. And now that I am the age I am and she's the age she is, I just hope and pray that I'm given enough time with her to settle the score, to let her know how I truly think and how I truly feel about her and how I was raised. Honestly, looking back on everything, I was truly blessed. But my life wasn't. I found out today things that I didn't know, back then. I found out how much in debt my father truly was due to his gambling addiction and alcohol addiction. And how I never knew those things, I never realized how things truly were because I guess my parents were good at covering things up, keeping things from me because they didn't feel like I needed to know that information, that I was just a child. I was just a young adult, teenager that didn't need to have that information, that I didn't need any stress put on me that didn't need to be put on me. And I guess for that reason, I'm grateful that I didn't know all the things that I know now. Because the things that I know now definitely changes my viewpoint and perspective on things from way back when. But as my mother said today, whenever I would try to talk about things, I told her, I said, I would tell her things and she'd say, well, that was the past. It doesn't matter. We can't change it in the here and the now. What's done is done. And that's true. That's so true. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to make a video talking on a few subject matters and talking about what I've talked about. Because I think it's important that I get it out there. I also look at this picture of me and I think, wow. I try to think back about what I thought about life back then and all the goals and dreams that I had at that age and how my life has went since that age, since that photo was taken. All the experiences I've had, since that moment. And sometimes I sit here and think, wow, I really did let myself go. But I'm working on it. And I'm working on me and I'm improving every day. And I'm not going to give up this time. And I'm not going to allow myself to think ill and negative thoughts towards myself, my mother, or any of my other family members that are still alive and breathing. Even though that's not many. That's not many at all. Anyways, I hope y'all have a awesome, wonderful, amazing day or evening, wherever you are in this world. I want to extend peace, love, hugs, and nugs to every single person that comes across this video. And until the next time, thanks for listening and thanks for giving me a thumbs up and a subscribe if you haven't done that already. And till the next time, I'm out.